Struggling to speak Italian? It's not your memory, it's your approach. The idea that some people just can't learn languages is a complete myth. Memory is trainable and Italian is easier than you think if you avoid the 4 most common pitfalls most learners make. As a neurolanguage coach and former university lecturer, I have helped hundreds of people finally break through their language barriers in a pain-free, fun and effective way. And today in this video I'll show you the 4 biggest mistakes holding back your Italian and the science-backed solutions my students and I successfully applied to dramatically improve, not in weeks or months, but instantly. So to start off, let me show you what the first pitfall looks like. A couple of years ago I was working with an actor and they shared something that completely changed how I approach language learning. They noticed that when the set was supportive, everything flowed. They remembered the lines easily, stayed focused and delivered their best work, okay? But under pressure, suddenly lines were forgotten, confidence dropped and the performance suffered. This got me thinking about how these applied to language learning. If even seasoned world-class actors who are trained to memorize and perform under pressure struggle in an unsupportive environment, what about my other students? People trying to learn Italian after a long, exhausting day. I'm sure you felt that too. I mean, your Italian vanishing into thin air when you try to speak, your mind goes blank and frustration kicks in. This is not a memory problem. It's your brain reacting to pressure. Just like how the actor's performance was shaped by their environment, the environment you are in affects how well you are able to remember the language when it counts. That's exactly why I changed my coaching approach. To help students create the right mental environment to learn faster and actually use what they have learned. And the results, they speak for themselves. Why is this so important for you? Scientists prove that students who believe they can improve actually do. So what do you need to do? The first takeaway is change your mindset now. Stop telling yourself you are bad at languages. Praise yourself for effort, not intelligence nor results, to make sure things, in your case Italian, stick. And bear in mind, no empty praise, just real progress and honest accountability. If you are struggling, a qualified tutor can make all the difference. But here is the thing. While changing your mindset and finding a great tutor is essential, there is something even more critical to address. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water, but there is a hole at the bottom. No matter how much you pour in, it just keeps leaking out. This is what learning Italian can feel like if you are dealing with chronic stress or past trauma. It will be 100 times harder. This is actually what happened to one of my students who felt completely blocked. It was like they were trying to drive with the handbrake on. I sensed that the issue was rooted deeper, and when we took time to discuss what was holding them back, a school-related trauma came up. Of course, this is an extreme situation, but studies shows us that chronic stress ramps up cortisol levels, which can seriously mess with your memory and the focus. It's like trying to read a book with half of the page missing. Not to mention that trauma can effectively shut down some cognitive functions. So what's the takeaway here? If you feel like you're pouring in efforts but not seeing results, consider what's beneath the surface. This is exactly what my students did with the help of myself and the specialist. Addressing underlying stress or trauma could be the game changer you need to unlock your Italian. Now, you might think that once you have learned something, it's locked in forever. But what if I told you your brain actively chooses to forget? Imagine this. You are in class, absorbing every word, feeling confident. You are even having fun, it's clicking. But then, when you try to recall or use that information, you hit a mental block. It's frustrating, right? Here is another personal story that will strongly resonate with you. One of my students the other day said, "Oh, after class I thought I had nailed it, but when I tried to speak, I blanked." And bear in mind that this isn't just a one-off experience, it's a common phenomenon. There is something you need to do to make sure Italian sticks around. Imagine your brain as a library. If all the books, memories are scattered around with no organization, finding the right one when you need it becomes a daunting task. Similarly, without proper techniques, recalling learned information becomes difficult. Here is something you need to know. Learning does not happen instantly. Learning does not happen instantly. So how do we ensure that what we learn does not just slip away? Here are my top 4 practical applications my students use all the time. Number 1, the easiest way to train memory, interleaving. Instead of sticking to one type of learning task, reading, writing, listening, speaking, mix them up. It's like rearranging books by genre rather than by color. Your brain stays engaged and avoids overload. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, mix them up. Number 2, low stress, high impact activities. Listen to an Italian podcast, summarize it in writing, read an Italian article, explain it in your own words. Alternate between grammar exercises and free conversation. Number 3, memory retrieval and unique cues. Each memory is linked to cues. Think of cues as bookmarks in your library. However, too many bookmarks on one page can be confusing. Unique cues help ensure that you can always find the right page. Number 4, the most important and the most neglected of all. When I worked with a footballer on the verge of moving to an Italian football club, I had just 3 weeks to get him ready. No time for textbooks, exercises or generic vocabulary. He needed real Italian right away. Instead of memorizing random words and sentences, we took Italian straight to the pitch. After nailing the absolute basics, we practiced in real match situations where every phrase carried weight and urgency. Why this approach succeeded? Science backs this up. High motivation, he needed Italian now, not someday. Brain-body connection, moving while speaking made words stick. Context and emotion. Words weren't just learned, they were lived. The takeaway? Language sticks when it's tied to action, urgency and emotion. Stop memorizing lists. How can you apply these in your own life? Immerse yourself in real-life scenarios. Engage with the material actively. Connect it to your emotions and make it part of your daily routine. Remember, it's not just about learning, it's about living the language. What are the things you struggle the most? Let me know in the comments, and in the meantime, I have shared a lot, but there is more. If you want to speak Italian faster and avoid memory overload, watch this video next. Ciao!